Hey everybody, AZ Badfish here. Welcome back to PrimeCraft Season 2. So today I am, heading into the nether, actually. We're going to be heading out to, and whoa, oh geez. This is not how I wanted to start the episode. Sir, you're ruining my video. Good lord. Yeah, so that's going to be a problem. I think we're going to need to maybe put some glass along here at some point. Because actually, now that I've seen that, I think that is what happened inside our little hub area here. I don't know if you remember last episode, but this was all on fire because for some reason fire tick was turned off, which, by the way, I believe we've got that solved. Thanks to a comment from Fry Toy. Thank you, Fry. We went in and we actually turned FireTick off in the server config file rather than just changing the rule from in-game, and that seems to have done the... Maybe it just doesn't work in the nether. That is very weird. Because in my base, and I'll recreate it for you once we get to where we're going to show you that I'm not full of it. I promise you. At my base, there is a plank with fire and a plank on top of that fire, and it's been there for a while, and that has not disappeared. So I wonder if the fire tick rules are just different for the nether. I don't know, but yeah, we've definitely got fire tick turned off in the overworld. Anyways, back to what I was saying. One of the things that we have on the server, we have the community farms area, which is where we just came from. And that's, in general, if I'm going to be building a farm, I'm going to be building it out there. But one of the things that we can also do on this server is have our own little industrial area. And that is something that I have picked out. So we're headed there now. It's actually a little bit of a distance through the nether here. And I've been out here a couple times, so I don't really need the markers that I've left, but there are some. So we'll come way out here, and we're going to be doing some work in my own personal industrial district. You can see there's a sheep here who has managed to wander his way off of my little island. And he's probably just going to hang out there because I doubt he'll come into the portal on his own. So yeah, as you can see out here, this is just an island out in the middle of the ocean, and it is my industrial / mining area. I've done a little bit of work. I've got a mine down here, and I guess I can pick this stuff up. But yeah, this goes all the way down, just a standard branch mine, because the community mine was getting full of cross branches and poke holes, and it's getting a little difficult for me personally, the way I like to mine, to accomplish that. So I decided to come out here and just start taking care of stuff. It is getting dark, and I don't think I have a bed on me anymore. Ooh, are there any other sheep out here? Let's take a look around and see. Hello, sheepies. There's one. There's two. Maybe we'll get lucky. Only two. Any more? Any more sheep? I might actually have some white wool. Or I can just pop through the nether and and shear that one. Then we'll just have a naked sheep walking around the nether forever because there's no grass for him to eat. That would be mean, though. That would be mean. I wonder if there's another one. There might be. I don't see one, though. Aha! Perfect. Of course. I get 2 off of that one. Alrighty. Let's head back over to my shulker boxes, because I need this one. So today, what we're going to be doing out here is I'm going to be building a gold farm. Yeah, just a pretty standard gold farm. I've built them before. It's going to be very similar to the one I built last season. But every time I build this thing, I build it slightly differently, trying to make it a little bit better. And this time, my goal is to... Okay, so just to briefly explain, it's going to be about 15 gigantic portals sitting over a platform of water, pushing pigmen, excuse me, into a drop tube, and they will die. The problem that I always have with those types of overworld gold farms is that whenever I come back through this portal, there's generally just a ton of pigmen that have, they've spawned in the big farm portals, but then somehow made it back through a portal, and they end up, on another side of this portal. And because that is not loaded, they just sit there, and then as soon as I walk through, there's like a big pigman explosion. Normally, they don't attack me, so it's not a problem. It's just kind of annoying. But I want to try to build it in a way that cannot happen. Because as I understand it, when a mob comes through a portal, the cooldown, there's a cooldown, right? So he can't go through another portal until the cooldown is up. But that cooldown clock does not start until he walks through and leaves the first portal, right? So he can, if there's nowhere for him to go, and they stand in that portal, they can stand there forever until that chunk is loaded or something like that. So I think what's been happening is that I've been building my portals too close. Generally, there's only one block of space in between each one. And that, combined with the wooden trapdoors. I went blank there for a second. When you got the wooden trapdoors there, they can actually run across that. And sometimes they can get to the portal next to them, and I think that is how they end up going through the portal. So what I'm going to do is, instead of having, portal, space, portal, I'm going to have portal with 3 spaces. Or maybe just 2. Yeah, I think just 2. So we'll have portal, space, 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 portal. Space, space, portal, space, space, portal, like that. So that is what we're going to be doing today. I hopefully have enough of all the stuff that I'm going to need for that. So I've got 2 shulker boxes of stone. I've got several stacks of obsidian in here that I actually pulled from the mines that are directly underneath us. But we kind of need to start from the bottom. So let me get some boxes and stuff here organized a bit, and I will come back to you. Alright, so I've got some stuff ready, and I wanted to show you guys. So we've got a birch plank, a dark oak plank. This is on fire. It's been this way for about a minute already, and yeah, it's definitely off. In the overworld, at least. I don't get what's going on with the nether. That might be something different. But I'm going to leave this here, and y'all will see that this is never going to burn away. So this whole fire tick thing is, it's starting to confuse me a bit. But anyways, I'm going to run over here, and I think right here seems like a good enough spot, I suppose, to start building a sorting system. So what I want to do is just kind of build, we'll get a couple double chests here. Maybe we'll have 3 there. Whoops. And then here. So that's 6. And then I've only got 6 here. I always forget. Double chests, not single chests. Alright, so we are all the way at the top now. We are up 30 blocks from where we were before. I went ahead and gone up even 1 more, so technically this is a 31 block drop. And I've also marked out where the trench needs to go. So what we're going to be building up here, this is actually going to be the end of the trench, and where the zombie pigmen are going to fall off the platform into the trench, which is going to push them down in the drop hole. And originally I had this in the middle, so I had like 23 blocks that way and then 23 blocks that way, and I just tore it down and added the extra 23 blocks going out this way because I realized this is a 1 block drop here. If I have pigmen coming from both sides, there's a really good chance that they're going to be, 2 from, 1 from either direction show up at the same time, and then they'll just sit here bumping up against each other and nobody's ever going to fall down. That will significantly reduce the efficiency of this farm, and I am always working at making it more efficient, which is why it's slightly different, as I mentioned, every time I built it. So this trench needs to be 3 or 4 deep. I'm gonna go with 4, just to be on the safe side. That's about how I usually do it. So first off, I got to come across and add. I might as well start with both. Whoops. I'm gonna add a line on either side. Go ahead and make it too tall so that I can jump up there and just do the final 2 all at once. But yeah, the reason this needs to be 4 tall, I technically could probably get away with only 3, but the reason I need this is because you notice this is all at the same level, right? And we're going to be using water to push these guys, and water only goes about 8 blocks. So basically what'll happen is we'll have water. Say the water comes all the way to right here, and then it stops, and there's no water right here. Well, I'd put a sign here, and then a sign here, and then another water source here so that it will flow down and continue on. But when this is right here, they will be trying to swim up this sometimes, and if it's only 2 tall, they can jump right back out. 3 tall, you're pretty safe, but 4 tall, there's no way at all they're going to be able to get out of here. So that's why I do this. I dig a well, this isn't digging a trench, this is building a trench. That is going to be 4 deep. That way they cannot get out of here. Alright, so the trench is in place, and then the next thing we've got to do is build out our platform that's going to have the water underneath the portals. And how we're going to do that is we're going to start from here, counting 1, and then go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that 8th, this right here, will put the water, and it will, the water will be flowing down from the other platforms that we're going to build, and it'll come out 8 blocks, and it's going to stop right here. So I don't need any signs or anything like that in here. But for these next 2, we're going to say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We only want 7. That way it will flow 1 more, and we'll end up right here, so we don't need another water bucket. So we can just do water buckets along the top edges. So we're going to do the same thing here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is going to be 7 times 2 is 14, plus 8 is 22, which will be just enough space to have our portals in this side over these platforms. So now what I've got to do is I'm going to fill in these platforms all the way across. guys, welcome back. Hopefully that worked out the way I planned it to, and y'all just saw a time-lapse of me finishing out the platform and building all of the portals. I have not done a third-person time-lapse in quite a while. In fact, the last time I did it was near the end of Season 1, and I actually had to play my account on my laptop because I didn't know that if you hit F3 and P, you can turn the pause menu off when you lose focus. So like if I were to Alt Tab out of this right now, it would, you would not see the pause menu. And I didn't know about that last time, so I had my camera account on my main computer where I record, and then I logged in on my laptop, and that was not very much fun. But since then, I figured out how to do that, and of course, I did notice while I was doing that time-lapse, though, that my cursor was visible whenever I was sleeping, so that's not all that great. So I might look into the replay mod like Vidargavia uses, but yeah, for now, hopefully that was pretty cool. And as an update, this is still burning. I have not replaced any of these blocks. So yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is all done. So anyways, back up here. All 15 of my portals are now done. And this is looking all right. I think it's doing pretty good. I slabbed the top just to keep any bad guys from spawning up there, because the only things that we want spawning in here obviously are the pigmen. So, eventually this is going to have water all over it, so we're not going to have to worry about any of the torches or any of that stuff. But yeah, for right now, that is that. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put a ring of, well, I don't have any cobble. Yeah, as you can see, I have 6 pieces of obsidian left. So yeah, each of these are 21 by 21. So you can make them a little bit bigger than that, but that's about as big as I like to go for these things, because otherwise you end up using a lot more obsidian, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm going to run a ring of stone slabs around, and it's going to be at this level. So like right here where it comes down a bit, I'm going to have to add some slabs like this. And then we're going to have 4 slabs, and so on and so forth. But then I'm going to put a bit of glass around the whole thing, just to keep any pigmen from like falling out or like landing on the side of here and whatnot, things like that. So all right, I'm going to get to work on this, and I'll see you guys back in a second. Alright, that slab wall is in place, and we're getting close to the home stretch here. I want to go ahead and start putting in all of my water so that I can get rid of all these torches and finally finish this thing up. So I'm going to start. I just put a sign there at the end so that we don't get any stuff flowing down in the bottom. Ooh, you know what I need to do though? Is come up here. Now there's a big space here. I overmeasured just a little bit, but I figured I would leave it in case I ever want to come out here. There's enough room to add 1 more of these, and that might be worth it. I just ran out of obsidian, basically, is what happened there. Okay, so come up here. I want to make an infinite water source. Bucket there, bucket there, so I can grab in the middle. Wrong bucket. That one. Okay. Wish I could make it down here, but oh well. Alright, so as I mentioned before, we'll put in a bucket here, and then where the water stops, so right here, we'll add a sign, and then a sign behind it, so that I can add another bucket right here. And you'll see how this kind of connects right here. And if I'm a pigman, I'm basically holding spacebar. And you can see how high up I go. If this was only too high, I'd be able to jump right out of there. And that was the first time I ever built one like this. That happened to me quite a bit. And I was a bit annoyed that I had to go shut everything off just so I could rebuild the waterways. Alright, so I'm going to get these in, and then I'll come back to you guys. Alright, so all that water's in place. It goes right up to the end here. As you can see, that is the death hole. So, yeah. Alright, now we're going to add water into the rest of this. And to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and grab some water from the infinite source here. And then we'll go ahead and get rid of that water. Get rid of these. Now all we should have to do is put a bucket of water here. And then a bucket here. And now I could just grab and go. Yeah. There we go. And now all these torches, of course, are going to end up in the chests below. But yeah, any zombie pigmen that spawn up here, for that matter, right now, any mobs that spawn up there, are, you know, they'll walk off the... Well, they won't yet. Aha! We still need the trapdoors. I almost forgot about that. I was getting excited. Alright, so, yeah, this is good. I went ahead and added a little edge right here. We'll come back to that later. I still have a water bucket. That's okay. I should have grabbed another one. No big deal. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in the glass. Alright, so I added in this little wall of glass here, but that's not all we're going to do. I need to come up a bit more, and I think the easiest way to measure how high up I actually need to go is to come over here, right where this meets up here. Because what I want to do is make sure that I come up to... See, that is the same as this one, so right here. I want to make sure that I'm 2 over this block right here. Not that it matters that much, per se, because realistically, the zombie pigmen have no way to walk this direction. So the only place they're going to have to go is down into the farm. But I really just like to make sure that there's no way at all that they can get out. So I'm going to build this up pretty high, it looks like. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 along here, and then of course, yeah, so 5 more from where we're at now. I've got hopefully enough glass. There's a bit more in the glass box, so I guess we'll start from here, and I'll just work my way around. So I guess one of the problems with spacing these things out more than 1 block of space apart is that it effectively doubles the amount of trapdoors you're going to need. I just had to use every log and plank that I had, except for these 20 leftovers, to get just enough trapdoors to go up there, assuming that my math is correct. I even had to go down and chop down every tree on this little island, because as I ran out and still didn't have enough. Any more saplings? I don't see any. Oh, there's one, and an apple. Sweet. Alright, so I should have enough to do this now. So let's get back up to the top. Come on. Alright, so it looks like my math was correct, and I got 1 left. 1 trapdoor left, that is. Just as I suspected I would. Alright, so now I think I'm ready to go ahead and activate these guys. So we'll do like this. Like that. Alright, so those are all activated now. So we should be starting to get some zombie pigmen in there. But what I'm most curious about right now is, does this portal still link up? Here's open. I mean, this will obviously take me to my portal where I came in, but oh, now there's a cow. I'm curious, does this take me back to the one that's on the island, or does it take me to the farm? Hopefully, nice. Awesome. Perfect. Beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Alright, so we've got one more thing left to do here. Alright, so I got the rail in place, and here's what I'm thinking. We need to be able to get out of here, right? So we can't have this area slabbed. But if I put a lever that should... Nice. So that's going to power that, and that's also going to give us a way to, you know, stop the cart and get out. I'm wondering if a mob can spawn here. I'm pretty sure they cannot. But I'm going to leave this torch here anyway, just to stay on the safe side. And alright, so now what we need to do is come through here and probably like right here. Let's go ahead and grab a redstone block. Put that there. Put that in, that. Yep, so now we've got that whole line is good. Probably right here, maybe? Alright, so I had to add another layer of slabs here, because otherwise it was really hard to get in here. But I've got a minecart now, so I can go ahead and switch that off, flip that, hit that, and there we go. Farm completed. So we'll just hang out here, bounce back and forth. This is where you'd be to AFK. Nice and simple. Alright guys, so I think I'm going to AFK here for a bit, and I'll come back to you, I don't know, maybe in an hour or so. I'll let this run a bit, and so we can see what kind of rates we're getting. Okay, so I'm back from editing. It's been just over an hour, and I wanted to apologize because I noticed a couple times where I messed up my recording hotkeys and thought I was recording but wasn't, or was recording when I thought I wasn't, and yeah, I lost some footage that way, so sorry about that. I gotta really make sure that I don't do that anymore. But yeah, one of the things you missed with it was the bottom of the kill tube, which is just a big tube here. Wow, I am lagging or something. Just a big tube here that falls onto these hoppers and into a simple impulse SV sorting system. Well, the overflow proof sorting system. So I'm only sorting for 2 of these sections, and they're both for rotten flesh because you end up getting a lot of it. And after an hour, I've gotten just over 4 stacks of gold nuggets. So that's not terrible. That's a pretty good rate, I would say. So overnight we'll probably get, 32 stacks or something like that, which is almost 4 stacks, maybe something like that, of ingots. Anyway, that's pretty good, I would say. But yeah, we are definitely running overtime on this episode, you guys, so sorry about that. If you liked it, go ahead and leave me a like, leave me a comment down below, and if you want to see more of the PrimeCraft videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and until next time, you guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.